Hello, Foxies. Welcome back to the SilverFox Sonya podcast. 17 Years a Wife, episode 6. In episode 5, I left off with the DNA test comes back stating that my spouse is the father to this married woman's child. I also had a chance to speak to her husband, as well as that dreaded telephone call from the friend that does not respect marriage. Also, we've sold our home. He's now lost his job as well. And in episode 5, I had gotten laid off with a package. Had to sell my home to my parents briefly. And then I also left you all hanging with that momentary marriage. My ex-mother-in-law has passed away. We received a telephone call early one Saturday morning informing us that she had gone home to be with the Lord. So, in these years, she and I had reconnected, and she has also built a relationship with my now current husband, who would go see his father, and after he leave his father's house or either on his way to his father's house, he'd always stop by her business and check on her and hang out with her for a little while. So over these years we've developed, we've reconnected and started talking again. And she would call me here and there, maybe about once a month or every other month, and check on us and see how I was doing. So with her passing, brings back the ex-husband. And as I stated in episode 5, when you don't unpack those bags, 5 years down the road, 6, 7, 10 years down the road, whenever it pops up, any unfinished business, you'll get greeted with it again. So with her death, I have reached out to contact her husband to check on him. And when I called their home, the phone is answered by Mr. Momentary Marriage. I knew who he was when the person picked up the phone, and he knew who I was. So I asked him how he was doing, and asked how the family was doing. And he did not know that his mother and I had been talking, because she did not let him know that. So we talked for a little bit. He asked me if I was married, told me he was married, and I asked him if he knew when the services would be for his mother, and he was thinking that would be the next weekend. So I told him I'd check in with him and the family later on in the week to see when the services were, and then drop off any food or anything that they needed. So I called later on in the week to get details of the service, and he let me know the wake would be Friday evening and the funeral was Saturday. And during this week, y'all, it's not a good week for me. I'm not doing well. Excuse me. So I go to the service, the wake, and my husband had met me at the wake later on, and I got there kind of early because I wanted to get there early before any people would arrive, because I knew it would be a full packed house. And I could tell she had really been sick when I went and viewed the body. So the wake was about 4 hours long. As I stated, they were very well known. I mean, you had congressmen speaking, Sheila Jackson Lee, they were all there. So we go home that night, and I'm going to go to the funeral the next day. I get up that morning, I'm just not functioning well. And prior to her death, I lost my grandmother. He lost his grandfather. I was very close to them. And he couldn't understand why I was taking this death so hard, because I was close to my grandmother as well as his grandfather. And he's like, what is wrong with you? And I just looked at him. I couldn't answer. I'm sitting at the table that Saturday morning trying to eat so I can get ready to go to the funeral. But I just can't get myself ready to go to this funeral. So I get up from the kitchen table, and I remember going back to my room, and I'm just holding my heart because my heart hurts. So, I mean, it's like somebody's just like this stabbing, piercing pain. And I go to my room, I fall down on my knees, and I ask the Lord, Lord, why so much pain? Why am I feeling this like this? I didn't understand. And he answered me immediately. I just heard, you're feeling his pain. And I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, Lord, take it away. Please take it away. So I'm in my room, laying in the bed, trying to go to sleep. There's a knock on the door. And my spouse had answered the door, and it was my girlfriend coming to check on me because she knew I had been having, like I said, the week had been rough for me. And she was coming to check on me and get me out the house and take me shopping. So after hearing that I was feeling his pain, I knew I really needed to sit with him and talk, because there's some stuff that needs to be let go of. And in our conversation that we had earlier in the week, when he was giving me the details of the wake service and the funeral, he asked me again, how are you doing? What's going on? You know, stated he missed me. He's like, never met a woman like me. He let me know that sometimes he's talking to his wife and he will call his wife by my name. And I'm just like, what? Then he goes on and tells me that, you know, he still has our wedding photographs, which I have them too. Needed to dispose of them. They were just in a box out in the garage. So he tells me this photo album he carries in his bag with him every day. Who does that? You're married. So this lets me know, I'm like, okay, this needs to be closed. He's feeling like he has not closed this chapter in his life. And then I'm feeling his pain, which to me says soul tie. So I get home and I tell my husband, I'm like, hey, I need to take care of this and handle this, because this pain I'm feeling, I shouldn't be feeling like this. And he was like, okay, I understand. I get it. And he knows I don't want him. So we set up a meeting, and I go and talk to him at his parents' house. Talk to his dad for a little bit, and he and I go outside and we talk, and we're sitting outside in the yard, and he's going on again to tell me how he hates he messed us up, and he's just never been happy since then, and blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, you got to let this go. That's over. And he's like, well, I'm just hoping one day I can get you back. And I'm just like, no, that's not going to happen. So I asked him to go in the house and get those wedding pictures. And he's like, huh? I said, yeah, go in the house and get your pictures. So he's like, why? So I go to my car to go get my pictures. And he hasn't moved. He's still sitting there. I walk towards him and I have my photo album. He's like, what's that? I said, that's the photo album. He's like, what are you getting ready to do? I said, we're getting ready to have a service. He's like, what kind of service? I said, we're getting ready to have a cremation. Cremation? I said, yes, we're going to burn these pictures and just let this go, because that's over with. And he's like, have you lost your mind? I said, no, have you? I said, you crazy. He's like, I will never get rid of those pictures. I will always have those pictures. I'm like, okay. So I take my pictures. I take my butt home. I get in my car. I'm like, okay, he not getting this. He ain't going to get over this. I'm going to have to deal with this myself and close these chapters in my life. So I get the book. I go home. I burn them myself. And I think I'm good. I'm okay. Days pass by. I'm still not good. And then it dawns on me. I realize that the conversation that we had when I was at his house, he let me know that he and his mom had a whole bunch of secrets. And I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah. He's like, my mom did not think that if something was to happen to her first, that I would be taken care of. And I'm like, well, why is that? Why would she think you would not be taken care of? He's like, well, me and my brother don't have the same father. I'm sorry, excuse me? What? Me and my brother don't have the same father. So dad is not your dad? He's like, no. He just came into my mom's life when I was really young, and I've just always called him dad, and it's just always been like that. So in the 3 years or 2.5 years we were together, y'all never thought to tell me that? I'm like, ooh, so y'all stuff start clicking. I'm like, okay. Okay, now I see why the difference. That's really not your daddy, so them not your genes. I'm thinking I had the church boy, like, woo. No. Okay, so secrets. He and his mom have secrets. So therefore, a lot of the stuff that he was going through, she just didn't let me know. Now, the dad that's really his stepdad, the stuff that he was telling me, girl, you got the patience of Job. And you don't have to have the patience of Job. You don't have to do this. He was trying to tell me then, but I guess I just wasn't understanding because they beating around the mulberry bush instead of just beating the bush down. So I'm like, okay. So as I get home, I realize, yeah, I probably was feeling his pain or was feeling his pain, but I'm also angry with his mother. In the last conversation I had with her when she called me, it was different than any other conversation that we've ever had in the months we have been talking or the years we have been talking again. And she was giving me personal information, telling me issues or things that have been going on that she didn't see eye to eye with them on. And I believe then she was trying to tell me but didn't know how to tell me. I believe the wanting and the desire to call her was to deal with some stuff too, but never got a chance to do it. So in me saying all of this, I just want you, Foxes, I want y'all to know. When you go through something, deal with the issues. Talk to somebody. Work through the pain, the process, so you can let stuff go. Because you think you let stuff go, but then it comes back later on down the road and you realize you never dealt with it and you did not let it go. So for me, what helped me deal with that particular issue and her, because I realized I really was angry with her. I was pissed. I was mad as hell, for real. So the only way, I had to visit her grave. And I literally sat there and had a conversation. Yeah, she not there. She probably can't hear me. But it helped me release that which I was holding on to and didn't realize was there until she died and passed away. So I made it through that, y'all. But at the same time, prior to her death, I had started dealing with what I want to say, these bouts of a stronghold. So there would be times I would either be asleep or laying back on the sofa, just kind of like relaxing, my eyes closed or whatever. And all of a sudden, I would feel this like this darkness or spirit just like come over me. I couldn't open my eyes. I couldn't open my mouth. I could not move. I would just be like, and I'm trying to scream or yell in my sleep or as I'm sitting there relaxing. And I never could understand what it was until years down the road. And that'll come up in the next segment, which will probably, next segment will probably be the finale of 17 Years a Wife. But I was dealing with that as well as being sick. I was always sick, or I would feel like stuff like moving up under my skin, like itching and moving. And I'd be like, Lord, what is this? What is this? I don't know what this sickness is. And one night I couldn't sleep. I got up, I went and sat in a chair. I was watching Daystar. And Joni had this guest on there, Valerie Saxon, that was talking about parasites. And I was listening, so she had a panel of guests that had all kind of issues or different things that they were dealing with in their bodies. Crohn's, indigestion, acid reflux, what else? It was just different issues that they had going on in their body. So they were talking about her product, which was a Parasite Peel that you take over 30 to 90 days. If it's your first time doing it, you do it 90 days. If not, you do it every year, like for 30 days. And y'all, I'm sorry. My girl back here crawling on the floor. I'm just sorry about that. But this particular peel, I decided I was going to try and do this cleanse because I just felt like it would help me with all the issues I was having in my body. Like I say, stuff crawling up under my skin. I'd always be sick, didn't know what was going on. So I tried it and it worked. It worked. So when I tell you I saw stuff leaving my body that I ain't never seen before, my skin cleared up. I started losing weight. But then, you had to change your diet. No sugars, no processed food, no rice, no starches. There's more vegetables, lean meats. So with doing this, so this was in 2003 of October, I think I started this, or September. I did it longer than 90 days. I think I did like 4 to 5 months of it. And then within 2004, I had told the Lord at the end of 2003, Lord, this cooking thing ain't working for me no more. It's too much work. Too much work with not enough pay. Because I'm the cook. I got to buy the groceries. I got to clean. I got to deliver. I was doing everything. So I said, Lord, I just don't want to do this no more. And then it was the beginning of January 2004. My phone rings early one morning on a Monday. And it's one of my girlfriends. She's like, hey, my supervisor asked us if we know anybody that has contract experience in gas. You got contract experience? I'm like, yeah, I got contract experience. No, for real, do you have contract experience? I'm like, yes, I have contract experience in gas. Is it on your resume? Of course it's on my resume. What does it give the detail of it? And I'm like, girl, yes. So she's like, okay, I need your resume right now. And I'm just like, ugh. Get up out the bed. Come on, send it to me. So I sent her my resume. Had a job interview that Wednesday. I got a call on Monday. Interview on Wednesday. Hired the next day. Won't he do it? Yes, he will. God's so good to me, y'all. I'm his favorite. But I get the job. With that, I'm working now. And at that time, I don't even know if my husband had gotten a job by then. But I'm working. March of 2004, we've been married 10 years. And all of a sudden, guess who's finally conceived? Yes, Sonya is pregnant. And everybody is shocked. Like, what? Really? Huh? What? Even him? You lying? No, really. I am. I'm pregnant. Is this somebody else's test? No, it's not nobody else's test. So, Sonya's pregnant, getting ready to have a baby. I've started a new job. And, most jobs are like, we're not hiring no pregnant woman. They got a job that comes available. And they want me to apply for it. And it's permanent. I don't want to do it though, because it's too much stress. And especially with me being pregnant, I'm like, nah, that's not what I want to do. So I don't apply for it. But then 3 months down the road, they got another position. Okay, Sonya, will you please apply for this one? Okay, I'll apply for this one. And got that job. So, they hired me I guess at that time I was 3-4 months pregnant, and was able to sign up for the insurance to where I'd still get paid on full maternity leave and everything. We have my Joshua in November of 2004, and he was a precious, healthy baby born 4 pounds, 12 ounces. We thought we was going to lose him because he flatlined about 2 or 3 times. But God is good. I got my little miracle child. And I wanted a girl, but the Lord said, no, you having a boy. And I thank God for my boy because he looks out for me. But, y'all, that is episode 6. I will come back next week with episode 7, which will more than likely be the finale of 17 Years a Wife, so we can get on to the funny stuff, dating shenanigans. But hope you enjoyed. I know y'all probably saying this one wasn't juicy. Nah, it wasn't, but you got to hear about Momentary Marriage and how the ex-husband came back. And you also learned that you need to unpack your bags. So y'all, have a blessed evening. I love y'all and see you next week. Smooches. Mwah.